So you are a foreigner and you are walking down to the street at Manila or Cebu or maybe even a small town here in the Philippines, then boom. It happens. Wherein a child tugs your arm, a woman with a baby reaches out her hand, and a man taps in your car window, and now you're stuck in that moment and you're asking yourself, should I give them? Do I have to ignore them? Am I being rude or am I getting scammed? Well, you know what? Welcome to one of the most awkward and confusing experiences that every foreigners or expats faces in the Philippines, which is dealing with beggars. And trust me, I have been there. We all have. And in this video, I'm gonna break down, guys, and talk about why this constantly happens here in the Philippines. And I'm also gonna talk about what are the different types of street beggars that you will encounter and how locals or Filipino people deal with it, which might actually even surprise you. And also, I'm gonna teach you what's the smartest, most respectful way that you can respond as a foreigner without being cold, disrespectful, or a walking ATM. Okay, so now let's talk about why you will encounter beggars here in the Philippines. Alright, so yes guys, Philippines is actually a very beautiful country, yes, but it is also a developing country. And a large part of the population lives below the poverty line and in urban centers, especially near malls, tourist spots, and traffic intersections. And you will find people begging or asking for help from people walking randomly in the streets. And sometimes it's kids, sometimes it is disabled or elderly folks, and sadly, sometimes it is actually just planned and organized. So it's really important for you to understand that this isn't always about laziness, but it's often about survival for these poor people hanging around in the streets asking for help and begging for money. But yes, I'm not gonna lie, it's also a complex problem and you're not gonna solve it with only giving them 100 pesos and having a good intention. So now let's talk about what are the three types of street beggars. The first one is the need help now type of a beggar. So usually this is actually a mom with a baby asking for food and a kid barefoot asking for coins. And these are actually the hardest to ignore because it hits you emotionally. But sometimes giving money actually creates dependence or even encourages child exploitation. Okay, so the second type of beggar here in the Philippines is the scammer type. So typically, they are a group of kids playing pitiful, but watch your pockets, okay? Because unfortunately, some of them actually works for syndicate and others might steal or pickpocket as a group. And giving them money may feed the S system that keeps them going back in the streets to do the same routine that they have because they're taught by the syndicate. And the third one is the street performer or vendor. So usually they are the one who are selling or offering something, and these people actually want to earn what you give by buying them something. Buying from them may not solve poverty, but it does preserve dignity. So how do locals deal with beggars? Well, actually Filipino people or locals actually just brushing off beggars politely, and vendors giving leftover food, or street security guards are asking beggars to move to the place or to the malls. Most locals do not actually give cash, but they offer food or water or just completely ignore them politely. And yes, there are also some people actually that really feel compassion but also feel frustrated because this problem is literally everywhere. You may be in the province or in the city, it's everywhere. So if you're gonna ask any Filipinos, they will tell you this. If you give once, they will keep coming back for more. And that's not being cold, that is just simply being cautious. So what you should do as a foreigner if you ever encounter this kind of scenario or situation here in the Philippines. Here's what I've learned so far from years of living here in the Philippines, talking to local people, and making mistakes myself is that first, of course, do not ever feel guilty. You're not selfish for not handing out cash or for not being able to help them because you are not here to save the world. You're not here to save these people in the Philippines, and you're certainly not here to be targeted, to be a victim. And the second one is if you want to give, then just give them food, not money. You could actually buy a small meal or a snack or a water if you feel moved with them. And there's a lot of affordable bread and bottled water and even rice meal. So that way you help without enabling addiction or exploitation. And the third one is set personal boundaries. You gotta have a polite phrase ready, like, I am very sorry, but I have no money or cash right now. And just give them a smile or just keep walking, but still be respectful and firm. And the number 4 is support real causes. So if you are really serious about helping here in the Philippines, you can actually donate to a legit orphanages or feeding programs or community projects, because there are some foreigners actually volunteer while they are here, and that kind of help actually lasts way longer than loose change at a spotlight. So now let's talk about what are the biggest mistakes that foreigners make here in the Philippines. They are thinking that they can fix everything by throwing money at it, and some foreigners actually come here and start giving cash left and right, and within days words were spread around the area, and then you get approached by more than 10 or even hundreds of beggars. And unfortunately, you might get scammed, and then you attract users and abusers, and before you know it, you're not respected anymore. You're just seen as another soft, gullible wallet and naive foreigner. Well, yes, helping should really feel good, but it should also be smart. You can help with strategy, not just sympathy, guys, because not all of them actually deserves your help. So how should you deal with beggars in the Philippines as a foreigner? With compassion but not guilt, with respect but not blind generosity, and with intention, not being impulsive. You don't have to be rude, you don't even have to be a savior, but just be a smart enough and respectful guest in the country and lead with a heart and a common sense. So how about you guys? Have you had any experience with a beggar here in the Philippines? Did you give them money or bread or water, and did you also get scammed by these people? I want to hear your thoughts and your own personal story, so please comment down below, everyone. And again, thank you so much for watching my video, and see you guys in my next video. Ingat!